Well, the severe drought in California has prompted the state to set down water conservation rules and to require county and city jurisdictions to adopt their own plans. Mammoth Community Water District continues to ask customers to conform to revised Level 1 water restrictions. These rules say even-numbered addresses should irrigate Monday, Wednesday, and Saturday. Odd-number addresses irrigate Tuesday, Thursday, and Sunday. Irrigation is prohibited between 10 a.m. and 7 p.m. No variances for new lawns. Now, overfilling of swimming pools and spas is prohibited. Washing of hard surfaces prohibited. Leaks must be repaired and water may not pool up on hard surfaces. All of the details are available on the Mammoth Community Water District website, and that's mcwd.dst.ca.us. There's going to be a test on that later. Now, earlier this year, the Water Board did adopt an ordinance which would allow additional prohibitions if needed. Inyo Public Works Director Clint Quilter recently held public meetings in Independence and Lone Pine to explain conservation rules. He said he came up with an allowable alternative plan that is, quote, responsible yet acknowledges the investment in landscaping, end quote. Now, the rules say no watering between 9 a.m. and 5 p.m., the necessity to repair any leaks in a reasonable time, no use of potable water for construction unless there is no alternative, no flushing of fire hydrants, and except for health and safety reasons. Quilter said there would be significant penalties to Inyo County if the county did nothing. He said, quote, we're trying to meet regulations while taking into account the unique situation of the Owens Valley, end quote. Quilter said he does not anticipate law enforcement will police water use. Now, Quilter mentioned 4 other mandatory regulations for water systems: not washing down driveways, irrigating but no flooding, using a hose shutoff for washing a car, or watering. Now, the city of Bishop adopted 8 rules to reduce water use by 20%, and they are posted on the Bishop City website. They also include no outdoor irrigation except between 9 p.m. and 5 p.m. and 9 a.m. No irrigation of outdoor landscaping so that water runs off the property. No washing vehicles unless the hose is fitted with a shutoff nozzle. No washing driveways, sidewalks, or parking areas. No decorative water features unless there is recirculation. No water waste caused by easily correctable leaks, breaks, or malfunctions. No use of potable water for construction purpose, and no hydrant flushing except when required for public health and safety. The Bishop press release says the city may allow exceptions to some of these measures in some cases. You can check out their website, ca-bishop.us. Well, a Bishop teenager apparently helped stop a possible school shooting in Colorado. Last Wednesday, a 14-year-old male resident of Bishop contacted the Bishop Police Department regarding information that he had received about a possible planned school shooting. Now, a press release from the Bishop Police Department states the young man was playing an online game through his Xbox. Players on the game can participate from various locations and have the ability to text or chat with each other during the game. Now, while playing the game, an unidentified juvenile whose location was unknown sent messages to the local youth indicating that he was distraught over a breakup with his girlfriend. He went on to say that he was planning to take his father's 9mm gun to school the next day and target his ex-girlfriend, her new boyfriend, and then commit suicide. The young Bishop resident immediately contacted police. Now, upon learning of the messages and their content, Bishop Police Officer Jared Warsdorp conducted further investigation and interview with the Bishop youth. Officer Warsdorp was able to ascertain that the subject making the threats possibly lived somewhere in Colorado. Officer Warsdorp contacted authorities in Colorado, including investigators from the Colorado Cyber Crimes Task Force. He also contacted Microsoft Corporation and initiated the necessary process to obtain any information that might reveal the identity and location of the subject making the threats. Now, the press release states, utilizing the expertise and assistance of the Colorado Cyber Crimes Task Force in conjunction with information provided from Microsoft, Officer Warsdorp was able to determine the subject's identity and location. Local authorities in Colorado were notified and made contact with a 14-year-old male who admitted to making the threats. Colorado authorities also determined that the boy's father did own a 9mm weapon. The boy was detained for a mental health evaluation and the investigation continuing. Now, due to the evolving nature of the investigation, the press release states further details are being withheld to protect the integrity of the case and the identities of other involved parties. As information becomes available, the Bishop Police Department said it will continue to provide updates as appropriate. Bishop Police Department did say it wanted to release the information available to highlight the importance and value of the actions of the local man, his recognition of the circumstances and willingness to alert authorities. The press release states likely averted a tragedy and saved lives. The Bishop Police Department said it hopes that his actions would serve as an example to others and encourage them to come forward whenever they have information that helps protect the public and prevent crimes from happening. Well, a grisly report of a Reno man who died in Mammoth Lakes earlier this week. According to a press release from the Mammoth Lakes Police Department, on Monday at approximately 6:10 a.m., Mammoth Lakes police officers were called in from home to respond to a partially clothed, unresponsive individual behind a residence at Pine Crest Avenue in Mammoth Lakes. Now, upon arrival, officers found a white male about 30 years of age, and the press release states quickly determined he was deceased. There was evidence of damage to the remains consistent with animal activity. Now, the cause of death will be determined by an autopsy to be conducted by the Orange County Coroner's Office. And the press release states that although the cause of death is unknown at this time, evidence at the scene indicated that death occurred prior to contact with any wildlife. Personnel from the California Department of Fish and Wildlife and the Mammoth Lakes Wildlife Specialists responded to the scene and do not believe the wildlife involved pose any reason for concern in the community. Now, that victim has been identified as Robert Scott Barson, age 29, of Reno. The press release states that it is believed he was the individual that had contact with several local agencies in the preceding 24 hours. On Sunday, August 31st at approximately 3:30 p.m., a Mono County Sheriff's deputy contacted a pedestrian matching the description of the deceased, and that was north of Bridgeport. Now, the individual was transported by a Mono County paramedic unit to Mammoth Hospital, where he was evaluated by medical staff and Mono County Behavioral Health. While at the hospital, the press release states the individual became agitated and uncooperative, resulting in the request for a law enforcement response. Officers from the Mammoth Lakes Police Department and the California Highway Patrol responded and assisted in restraining the individual. He was subsequently left the hospital voluntarily refusing care, and the press release notes that because of privacy laws, the results of his evaluation cannot be released. Now, at approximately 1:30 a.m., Mammoth Lakes police officers responded to a call from the Sierra Lodge about a man in the parking lot hitting himself in the head with a fire extinguisher that was taken from the hotel. Officers responded and found the fire extinguisher, but the individual was gone. Surveillance video from the hotel reviewed, and it was determined that it was likely the same individual who was previously at Mammoth Hospital. Mammoth Lakes Police Department is conducting a death investigation relating to the circumstances surrounding the death. The Mono County Sheriff and Coroner's Office is coordinating the autopsy, which will determine the cause of death. If anyone has any information involving this death, you are encouraged to contact the Mammoth Lakes Police Department at 760-934-2011. Well, Joanne Barbie Stanford, age 80, passed away on August 27th at home in Bishop, surrounded by family after a long illness. She was 80. Joanne Stanford worked in hospitals in San Francisco and San Diego until 1966, when she met Robert Stanford and his 4 children. Robert and Joanne were wed on January 4th, 1967, with Joanne leaving nursing and joining Robert in operating Tamarack Lodge in Mammoth Lakes. Together, they added 2 more children to their family, Heather and Laurel. Subsequently, the couple owned and operated Wildery Lodge and Crystal Crag Lodge, along with Tamarack, all in Mammoth Lakes. Together, they retired from the lodge business in 2003 with many happy memories and stories to tell. We will note that a full obituary on Joanne Stanford is posted on our website, sierrawave.net. Memorial service is set for 1:30 p.m. this Friday at St. Timothy's Anglican Church, Hobson Street in Bishop. And because St. Timothy's was such an important part of Joanne's life, the family asked any memorial donations would be made to St. Timothy's Anglican Church in memory of Joanne Stanford. We'll be back with more news.